Hi students, today we are going to do something new. We are going to add fractions with unlike denominators. Let's start off with a little thinking problem. The girls' soccer team won 2/3 of their games and the boys' team won 3/4 of their games. They each played the same number of games. Which team won more? Turn and talk about it. All right, I hope you had a good conversation with your classmates. Let's go back in and see what we should do with this problem. First of all, I know that I need to read and underline key details. The girls' soccer team won 2/3 of their games. Well, that's one soccer team. We have the girls, and they won 2/3 of their games. Then the boys' team won 3/4 of theirs. I think this is important too. They played the same number of games. Finally, who won more? So I know that I should probably find my least common denominator to make equivalent fractions. Well, I have my fraction of 2/3 and 3/4. Now, how do I find my least common denominator? Oh, let's take 3 and 4. And let's do our first 5. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, let's do 4. 4, 8, 12. Wait, I don't have to go any further. 12 is the least common multiple. Now I create equivalent fractions. Let's see, 3 times 4 gives me 12. And whatever I do to my denominator, I have to do to my numerator. We're going to create our whole number fraction, and 2 times 4 is 8. Now, 4 times 3. Whatever I do to my denominator, I have to do to my numerator. Whole number fraction of 1. 3 times 3 is 9. So this is 8/12 for the girls and 9/12 for the boys. The boys' team won more. Now let's use this to guide our lesson today. Look down at your notes and make sure your paper looks like mine. Our first question says, in the afternoon, Dr. Brown ate 1/3 of a sausage and pepperoni pizza. I bet you wish you had a sausage and pepperoni pizza now. Later, she ate 1/4 more. How much of the pizza did Dr. Brown eat? Well, first, she ate 1/3. Then she ate 1/4 more. My question is, how much did she eat? Well, since I want to know the total, I'm going to add. First, I need to find my least common denominator. Don't get confused. We've already done this. It's actually your least common multiple. Same thing. Let's do 3 and 4. Remember, do your first 5 multiples. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So now we do 4, 8, 12. Remember, don't keep going if you don't have to. There's 12 and 12. Now I'm ready to find my equivalent fractions. 1/3 plus 1/4. And I know I need a denominator of 12. Well, 3 times 4 gives me 12. And whatever I multiply in my denominator, I have to multiply in my numerator. Give us that nice whole number fraction, and 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And whatever I do to my denominator, I do to my numerator as well. 1 times 3 is 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. And remember, our denominator does not change. So Dr. Brown ate 7/12 of the pizza. I'll give you a moment to make sure your paper looks just like mine. Let's look at our second problem. Miss Rivers spent 1/5 of her free time shopping and 7/10 of her free time painting new murals. What fraction of her free time did she spend shopping and painting? Well, let's see what Miss Rivers was doing. She spent 1/5 of her time shopping. That sounds like fun. And 7/10 of her time painting. She does love to paint. And the question says, what fraction of her free time did she spend shopping and painting? That tells me I need to add 1/5 plus 7/10. Remember, we're going to find our LCD, which is the same thing as our least common multiple. So our denominators are 5 and 10. Remember, first 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now let's look at 10. 10, I can stop right there. 10 and 10. Now let's make those equivalent fractions. 1/5 plus 7/10. This is an easy one. Look at this. 10 times 1 is 10. Well, I know I just multiply the numerator by 1. 7 times 1 is 7. And 5 times 2 equals 10. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 7 is 9. Our denominator doesn't change. So Miss Rivers spent 9/10 of her free time shopping and painting. Fun. Make sure your paper looks like mine. And finally, your third example for today. Keith planted 2/5 rows of radishes and 5/10 rows of strawberries in a garden. In total, how many rows did he plant? Well, we have 2/5 of radishes and 5/12 of strawberries. And we want to know the total. How many rows did he plant? Total tells me to add 2/5 plus 5/12. First thing we have to do, find that LCD. I know you know it. Remember, it's the same thing as our least common multiple. So we have 5 and 12. 12 is a pretty big number, so I think I'm going to start with 12 first. I'll do my first 5. 12, 24, 36, 48, and 60. Now, when I look at 5, I know I have a long way to go until I get to 60. But I do know that there is a number I can multiply by 5 to get 60. You got it. 12 times 5. So we already know our least common denominator or multiple is going to be 60. Let's set up our equivalent fractions. Don't get scared by that big number. It's okay. 5 times 12 equals 60. So 2 times 12 is 24. Now we just flip it. 12 times 5 is 60. So 5 times 5 is 25. Let me not forget my whole number fraction. I know you'll tell me I forgot it. So let's add. That's 9 and 4 out of 60. Now you will have times when you're going to have large denominators and you can multiply them, but be careful to always make sure that you cannot simplify. And in this case, it is in our simplest terms. So he planted 49/60ths, or 49 out of 60 rows are radishes and strawberries. I hope that helped. Please make sure you're paying attention to the next part of the lesson. Talk to you soon. Bye.